What's up, I guess, and welcome to a podcast, right? I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about, but, um, I guess we'll go. So, happy Tuesday, y'all. Well, I'm filming this on Tuesday, but probably won't be out till like Wednesday or Thursday. My name's Royce, and yeah, I figured I'm going to do a little bit of podcast, maybe even if it's like 30-ish, 40 minutes, it's still going to be something, and I guess we're just going to be talking about, like, video games and that kind of thing. Um, and we're going to be covering a little bit of Rocket League. We're just going to be covering, I guess, really a little bit of everything, right? So throwing some Rocket League in there. Mainly going to be focusing on COD, right? And I guess you really could just argue the case of like, oh, hey, you work on that, cover this, cover that. But I guess it's more or less just like a factor of like, hey, let's kind of just touch on all that, right? So we're going to be covering Rocket League, covering some COD, just kind of like everything around COD. And I guess just kind of going from there, right? So we're going to be covering, not necessarily COD, but we're going to be talking about it, bringing it up. We had some fun playing COD today. If y'all saw my Twitch stream, I was, playing COD, that kind of thing. So we're just going to be going back. There was this challenge that we did. It was about where we would, it was when we were using what? It was the Rival 9, the Striker, the MCW, and the Holger 556. And in that game, we were, it was a challenge, and the challenge was just to get, like, the most kills with the said gun. So it's not, like, even like it's like a skill thing. It's more or less of, like, how many kills can you get? And that's not only determining, it's, like, to determine the best weapon out of all of them. And to make it fair, it was 2 SMGs and 2 ARs, right? Like, the MCW is the CDL AR, right? And then the Rival 9 is the CDL SMG, but the Striker was in a close second place for the SMG, and I think one pro uses the Striker. I'm not exactly sure who, but it's a Striker 9, not the original Striker. You just basically throw in the same attachments as the Striker onto the Striker 9, as fun as that. The Holger, that was just GA'd from the CDL just because of, like, it was just a chalk scenario. And, that's kind of like the funny thing about it, right? Yeah, so that's really all it was. In the background, I'm going to be throwing some gameplay of, like, what I'm talking about. We had both controls. We had Skid Row controls for, it was the Holger, and then I believe it was the Striker. And we got 3 of them, both of those, but I'll be throwing up the gameplay and kind of breaking them down. I have the gameplay playing for me right now as I'm recording this, just so I know what I'm talking about, and I'll obviously line it up, and I'll throw it in exactly where. So I'll kind of just be breaking it down piece by piece. And I'm going to find it right when we get into the game here. Once, like, right when we get underway. So yeah, there we go. I'll start right when I start moving. Alright, so, obviously we come out, we're over towards mid-tunnel, right? And then we get killed back by a gas station. I'm pretty sure now we get killed back by mid-tunnel. There's a smoke thrown out, but we were playing hardcore here. So the first 2 games we were playing on hardcore, then we had, like, a Corey, and then we had a Corey hardpoint, and then we had a underpass hardpoint. So the first 2 were hardcore. The second one was not hardcore. I accidentally put us in a Quarry, just normal quick play, and then I said I was going to change it to, well, for the 4th game I was going to change it into hardcore, but I ended up forgetting to make the change, right? So yeah, so that's basically it, right? I'm gonna open up a soda, so hold on. Let's hope you can't hear it that much. Okay, so yeah, we were just kind of AFK here for a minute. I was texting someone. It was my mom texting me, so I had to text her back. So we're just sitting here AFK for a minute. And then we finally get moving again. This one, as I said, we were using the Holger 556. This was a really good build. Usually I have notes of, like, everything I pulled up here, but I don't want to risk, always in the recording if I have other stuff pulled up here. I mean, I probably could easily pull it up, but I don't want to risk it, obviously. So we had a good kill, right? We didn't find the kill towards there, but when you're going back by P3, then we kind of rotated back over towards mid truck, and then back by A. Then we went through garage. Our trophy system actually kind of helped us out back by A, or wherever we threw the trophy. We threw it on B somewhere. Then we got killed by water tower, so obviously not the best starts, but it is what it is, right? So we're just chilling here. Obviously, as I said, yeah, we got 3-0'd, so we put a little bit of Rock League. I'll throw some Rock League gameplay up there. I didn't record any of it. It's all on my Twitch stream, so I always upload a Twitch VOD to my YouTube channel. But for this, I guess, quote-unquote challenge, I recorded all 4 games, so that's why I'm watching this. When we get to Rock League, it's going to be a little bit iffy. I'll have to go pull up my Twitch stream, and then I can go from there and watch all that and do kind of all that gameplay aspect of things. But, yeah, so we took a hard loss in round 1. It was very chalked, right? But this whole entire gameplay challenge is like 30-ish minutes, I think, somewhere in there. So we're not going to be covering everything. Like, I just had the gameplay in the background to refer to it, like when I need to bring up something. So it's not like a fact of like, oh, we're going to be covering the gameplay for like the 40 minutes that was used. Do you feel me? Like, no, we're just going to be, I guess, covering just some of the important stuff. But I'm just going to have it as background gameplay for now as I talk about other things that relate in COD as well, just so it's relevant. This game was like 9 minutes, so we're gonna like touch on it and touch about some other stuff here. But I'll cover more in the Horror class. I'll throw up a picture of my Horror class as well during the intermission on rounds. I'll just throw it up on screen. It's an alright class, and the Renetti obviously was used by FaZe Simp. I used his Renetti class. It is like I don't really know. It's like 9mm high grain bullets. Then it's like a RK2, something like that. It's like a long barrel, something like that. And then I think it's I don't exactly know what the grip is, like the foregrip, whatever, the back grip, rear grip. That's really it for the Holger. But yeah, I went Holger, then Striker, then MCW, then Rival 9. Actually, no, I don't know exactly where. Was it court? It was Rundown, I think. I think it was, no, I don't. No, Rundown. Rundown was the Rival 9. Yeah, Rundown was the Rival 9. And then, yeah, so Rundown was the Rival 9. That's what it was. And then Quarry was the MCW, I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly sure. I do know we kicked it off, and we had 2 back-to-back Karachis. Or not Karachi, excuse me, 2 back-to-back Skid Rows. I do know that because we got 3 out on both of those. So that's kind of how I remembered. It was very chalked, but the third map, I can't remember. I feel like it's Quarry. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it's Quarry. The 4th map, obviously, I had a mix. I thought it was Underpass, but Underpass I was just frying. It might have been Underpass map 3. I'm not sure, but I'm most likely sure number 3 was that number 3 was just kind of like whatever. But yeah, I do remember now. Map 4 was bro, I just forgot it again. Fuck me. That was 2 good kills I had. I think I got a 3rd. No, I think I got a double kill. I actually almost won the 3rd, but that was more chalked, right? I was coming out towards Point, and then I was going back to Civic, but the kill by Garage Corner. So, yeah, but map 4 was Rundown for sure. It was a Rundown control, I think, and I was using the Rival 9. I was fucking popping off there because that was the final game, and I was like, shit, okay, well, that got me like 31 kills, and with that, like 29 kills, I think, to end off the game. So we'll cover more on that game later, but we got 2-0'd in this. It was like a 2-on-9, obviously. The clutch was not going well. 14 seconds on the attack. Well, I guess good kills coming out from Drew. That's my friend that we were playing with. And Dilly Snipes, but unfortunately, he was not able to get the job done. So obviously, as this, we got to upload the gameplay. So I'm watching it, and then I'm going to upload it once I'm done with the podcast. And then I'm gonna edit it, and I'll probably have it out on Wednesday, the 19th. No, not the 19th, the 20th. So, yeah, that's my goal, is to get it out by the 20th. Hope everybody has a good Christmas break, by the way. Or if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah, hope you all have a good one of those. I'm going to be trying to get more into the podcast swing of things here, if it goes well, or if like people like it. I'm also going to be doing this for basketball as well, so I'm going to be uploading it, and then I'm going to record it. So I guess I'll kind of figure out how that goes. So yeah, I can kind of hear myself, you know, right, you're trying to figure out, like, what are you going to do here? But as I was saying, yeah, we might throw some random shit here, but the gun was so bad there, I don't even know what happened. But the thing about hardcore, you got to realize, it's basically like one-shot win. It's not one-shot win kill, it's 2 shots. So it's basically realism, but in the game itself. So you get shot once or get stunned or something, you're fine, but you get shot twice, you're done. So that's why it's like crucial that you'll notice in like the 3rd and 4th game. you'll see how you can see the HUD. Like, in this, there's no HUD, right? It's straight, just, you got your kill feed, your gun, and that's it. You obviously know when you get your nades out, because it'll say on screen you can't throw any nades. When you're on ammo, well, then it'll automatically switch. Or if you have auto switch on, it'll automatically switch, or it'll just automatically reload. Like the stun text right there, yeah, I threw. Accidentally killed my teammate, and then not able to find the kill. Threw stun. Stunned one. I don't exactly know where I stunned. I think I stunned back there. Yeah, I got killed coming out by mid-tunnel, back by P5, I think, and then this is kind of what ended the round. So I'll throw up the actually, this was kind of clutch. I think we got a few kills here, but we weren't able to, yeah, see. It was a 2-on-1. I think, yeah, it was Drew, and then I forgot who else, but yeah, this was just a very chalked game. Like, we don't even talk about it, but it is what it is, really. But getting 3-0 wasn't our exact cup of tea there. I think we only had like 10 kills, something like that, 15. If that. We might have had 9. But, no, because back when I only had like the Holger at like rank 1, I got it to rank 7 in one game. It was on Skid, yeah, we only got 5 kills, but it was on Skid Row Hardpoint, and we were fucking frying. Like, I think we dropped to 37, 40, something like that, with the Holger, and we got like 6, 7 ranks. I was like, holy shit, this gun's like cracked. I mean, as I said, it got G8 in competitive, so it was one of the ARs that was used. So we have 2 ARs, as I said, and then we obviously, yeah. So, as you can see, it says hardcore quick play. I'm going to throw us into the next one. It was another Skid Row control. I'll do it right when we select the class here, just so it's like a lot more prominent. So right when we select the class, there we go. I had to edit it so we were in the striker. And yeah, as you can see, there's no HUD. But you'll see, obviously, in the third and fourth recording, or third and fourth game, excuse me. There was like nothing, right? There was a HUD, you could see the scoreboard, you could see all that, and obviously it wasn't one shot, it was more or less like 8 shots, something like that. It just, you didn't die after 2 shots, it was a little bit more depending on the gun. I think there was a case where this kid had like had fucking spamming shotguns. It was the funniest shit. But I figured this would be a great topic to talk about. We're maybe gonna go for like an hour, but this will take about like 30 minutes, I think, just to cover this set of the game. Just the challenge itself will be 30 minutes, but we're gonna be like most of the gameplay. Obviously, like during the breaks, we're gonna skip all like the intermissions. We played a few games of Warzone. We played 2 games of Warzone. It was the most chalked shit ever. Like, I'm sorry, but it was really bad. Yeah, on this hill right here on B, there was like on this time, it was bad. Like there was nothing we could do on that time. But yeah, so that's kind of it for the most part there. But it's funny, you know. It's like I'll be playing COD and and shit, and I'll just run into these like random kids, and they'll be nice. Like the other day, I was just fucking around, right? And there's this kid who was talking about football, and he's like, fuck Joe Flacco. No, it wasn't Joe Flacco. It was like, fuck the Browns or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said. It was something along those lines. And it was whatever. So, that's really it. So we were just fucking around, I guess, and I guess it works eventually. So, yeah, as I said, we were just fucking around, and you know, I was like, how about, the Cowboys suck, and then there's a Cowboys fan in the fucking lobby. I was like, oh, hell no. I think it was an Invasion Control, or Invasion Hardpoint, right before that started. And I think that's kind of what ended up happening, if you will, right before. So, that was the funniest part of it all, is, it was like, yeah, I was a Cowboys fan. I was like, fuck. And we were just kind of shit-talking. But yeah, man. Talking about esports, I guess we can cover esports for a little bit. As you guys see me absolutely fucking suck here. I just want to see what I was doing here. Like, I found a good kill coming up by Hut, but by Tollbooth, but I just couldn't really get anything there. Like esports, man, I don't even know how to feel about esports, right? Like, looking at the Call of Duty League, man, that's just like a fucking chalked situation, right? When you had fucking like, I'm trying to think what happened on Sunday. It was Optic 3-0'd London. Then the Gorillas 3-0'd, Gorillas fucking just 3-0'd, Thieves. Thieves are still winless, right? I mean, actually, no, because they beat Boston, I believe, on last Friday. So they beat Boston. So they did have one win. The Gorillas are like, I don't know how to feel about the Gorillas, but I can't throw up any CDL gameplay because like the CDL is so strict nowadays. They're like you can't post anything with it. It's not just like for me. We're talking like Zuma like from the flank. We're talking about like Scump and Methods. We're talking about like everybody here. So it's I don't need my first podcast getting taken down. All right. We can still talk about it, but But I don't know, I was just shocked. And then obviously Boston, actually, they 3-0'd Ultra. They found out their first win. They played FaZe. They went to 5. And then after they played FaZe, they played Surge. That went to 4, I believe. And they lost that. And then they played LA Thieves and got 3-0'd on. No, it either went to 4 or 3. It was either 3 or 4. I don't exactly know what it was. It was, I think it was. No, Surge 3-0'd them. So they got 3-2, 3-0'd. And then I think it was either 3-1 or something like that. And then after that, it was 3-0. They 3-0'd Ultra. Envoy was not having a good game. Scrappy was just doing all right, I guess. Kleenex and Insight, they were just, I don't even know how to feel about them. So that was kind of Sunday's games. I mean, I guess it was a good day to be a Boston fan if you like the Boston Breach, right? Like, you end off the season, I guess. Well, you end off the year with a 3-0. That's the final game. It's a 3-0. Boston pick up their first win. Because then there's Christmas break. It's like a 3-week off season, I think. So 3 weeks. It's the first week of January they come back, I believe. If not, then it's the second week. It's either the first or second week of January they come back. But that's either a 3 or 4 week break that they have for the most part. So actually, no, it's a month. Yeah, I think they come back on the 12th. The 12th, I believe, is when they resume. So it's about almost a month. So about three-ish weeks. That's going to be interesting, though. Boston is hosting the first major of the year. Or, well, of the season, I guess, not of the year. Well, of the year and the season. I just don't know how to feel about that, right? I mean, they might end up going to losers because instead of 5 games, they play 7 games. So they're 1-3. If they want to at least have a chance to go in the winner's bracket, I'm most likely sure they're going to have to win the rest of their games in the split. To end up going 4-3, probably sneaking. Optic, FaZe, and Surge. I think all 3 of those guys are going to be definitely top 3. No, it's going to be Subliners, Optic, and FaZe are going to be top 3. And then I definitely see the Surge. I see the Surge sneaking in there. I mean, you have what? Arcides. No, you have Illy and Hook under Rambo Ray, Coach Rambo. And then you have Abuza, who's from, I think he's from Belgium. I think he's Belgian. But then you have Abuza. Then you have Arcides, who was FaZe, and then he went to LA, and then he went to Seattle. So I guess he's kind of going on a tour. Yes. But yeah, I guess it's like the funny part. Anyways. I just got 3 out here. We'll see how many kills. I think on the AdOS, I had 7 kills. That was bad. Okay, we'll go to our third game. This is like the chalked bit, right? I don't really know. Okay, that was really chalked. So yeah, now we're gonna go to our next game here. I actually put us back into quick play. It was a core. I want people to vote Karachi, but we ended up getting a Corey Hardpoint. That's what it was. So let me go to like when we select your class here. So we were running the MCW here. This game was an alright game. It was pretty mid in my opinion, but not really a lot there, right? So I mean, if the shoe fits, am I right? But yeah, there's still a lot more to cover in this game. This game was like about 15 minutes, I think, something like that. No, the Control, the fucking final game was like a 15-minute thing. That game, I absolutely fucking hate. This game was like 8 minutes. I think I ended up getting first blood, though, because I was watching Spawn, yeah. I didn't end up getting first blood, but it was alright. Because actually, no, I might have. I think so. I did get first blood. I did. No. I was close. My friend got first blood, and then I got a kill right after him. I got the rank 6, and I'm like rank 72, or no, prestige 72. I ego-chilled the fuck out of that, and I just didn't know where my gun was, but I was like, fine. So then I just had to run up side, and I was going up by containers and mid. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just go up by water tank. And well, I guess the kill by water tank came through, because it was back by P1. And then, yeah, I found 1 kill coming back by Main Street. And then I think there was 2. I think there was a shower after this. Yeah, there was 2. So I got the second, and then thank God for my E to D padding. So I took stairs up towards P1, well, right above P1, and then I think someone came back by green Jeep. So, yeah, I had two people come behind me. Back by mid. I don't think I found them. Did I? I'm not sure. Because I saw them on the red dot, and I didn't find them. So I stunned out there just in case. Didn't make any connectivity, and then I just got fucking absolutely shit on right there. I got beamed. So then obviously you add new time. And yeah. So I was just fucking around, fuck it, why not? I don't think I'm gonna have game sound in this, it's just gonna be manually muted, but if there's a funny moment that I see in the recording, I'll throw it in as like the background noise, but I'll prioritize the background noise over me talking if there's a funny moment. There was a lot of funny moments. It's like me, Drew, and Dylan. We had so many fucking funny moments. No, wait, we only got 1 point the whole time. This was the fucking bullshit game. We lost 250-1. That's the funny bit. We had no. Okay, I take part responsibility for that. And the reason I take part responsibility for that is usually since I'm an AR player, I'm more of a running gun AR player, right? And if y'all don't know what that means, it's self-explanatory. In competitive and that kind of thing, ARs are traditionally sitting on point, right, on time. Their job is to sit on time and let the SMGs run around and, I guess, be the cleanup crew, right? But me, I'm a run and gun, which means I'm not the kind that sits on time. I'm basically an AR SMG. So instead of going on time, I'll run around like an SMG, or I'll hold a specific point, but it'll be not on time. Like, for example, you see this? I'm just running here. See, I'm just holding here for now, and because I'm watching people go to time. So I'm not necessarily going to time like a main AR should. Most main ARs, as I said, usually sit on time and let the SMGs do the work. Like, obviously, you might have your flex, or you might have an SMG kind of help you out, right? But it's more or less the factor of, like, look, you're sitting here, you're chilling, like, you're all set. Like, again, I'm still holding here, I'm not moving. I'm just waiting to see movement towards hill, and then I rotate, right? And then I rotate around, and then I run around, right? And then I run around. As you can see, like, throughout my gameplay, whenever I'm running AR, like the first game with the Holger or this, I just run around and shoot, and kind of hold specific points just for, like, a short amount of time. While most main AR's job is to sit on point and collect time on the hill, and then the SMGs will clear the way for a rotation, right? They'll usually rotate first, or something along that lines, or an AR, or they'll even SMG, have an SMG and AR, or have, like, your flex and AR rotate towards new. Because depending on the map, your flex is most likely going to be an AR or a sniper or SMG. Most flexes are snipers, but that's besides the point. So usually you'll have like a flex or main AR go on point. Like if you're an AR that's like running and gunning, that might not work. But like usually the flex's job is to be the running gun. So because as I said, they play both. Like flex, they play SMG or AR depending on like where they're needed. So like, oh, this was actually a really good play by me, and then I just didn't get the kill. But yeah, so usually the running gun AR is a flex because he runs around and plays SMG, but then he also has to play AR, right? And he's going to have to stand hill, and he's going to have to make those AR plays and make those chows. So that's what I guess you could consider a running gun AR is a flex. I'm not a flex, though. I like to primarily be an AR. I do play both SMG and AR, but that's only because, well, I'm trying to get Interstellar, so I kind of have to be using SMGs and AR, so I kind of have to be... So that's why I'm like used to playing all, I guess, positions, if you will. But mainly on the CDL battlefield, or just like in CMG or game battles or that kind of thing. I'm more or less an AR because I like the fast paced. Like even in S&D, I'm like in S&D, I fucking run and gun. Like I'm a very aggressive AR. I'm not like the kind of guy that will sit back and just like watch bomb or like wait for SMGs. Like like I'll take this from Mercado or something. I'll make a call out from like Mercado last year. I'll be like, oh, he's gonna be back, or he's gonna be graffiti. He's gonna be back by Barber. So then I'll be like, all right, cool. And then I'll let the SMGs deal with him, and then I'll kind of rotate around. That's us getting shit on 250-1. But anyways, so then it's more or less just like, oh, cool. So I genuinely don't know what to do about that. I'll have to go back in the VOD and I'll just have to watch to see what I did wrong. But anyways. That's like the case of like I don't know. So then it's like the AR on S&D. mainly they'll just sit back and they'll kind of chill and they'll really do their own thing and they'll kind of just be like watching all the crosses. They'll be watching bomb usually because they have the range if you're AR. Usually they'll plant if there's a sniper. Well, there's no snipers this year, so the flex is just an AR. I'm going to skip ahead now to the next game. This was a scrapyard and rundown. I was really hoping for scrapyard, but yeah, rundown. So I'll go right when I chose my class here. So I just chose my class, and yeah, so we're playing this militia. And yeah, that's kind of it. This went to 5, I think. No, it went to 4. I went to 4 or 5. I'm not sure, but this one was a good one. Good one. This was match was like 13 minutes, I think, around 13 to 15 minutes. So this will bring us to about the 40-minute mark on our podcast. Then we'll talk about some other stuff for a minute. We'll talk about our Warzone experience. That'll take about like 5-ish minutes, and then we can just end it off with like Rocket League. And that will be, that Rocket League will take about like 50 minutes. Because there's funny moments in Rocket League, and then we can maybe touch on like, well, if we're on the talk of COD, we're going to try our best to keep it relevant. So relevant to COD, right? When we're talking about Rocket League, we're going to keep it relevant to like Rocket League. If we're talking about Warzone, which is also COD, we're just going to try our best to keep it to like other Call of Duty. So that's why I want to get Call of Duty all together, which is like this and Warzone. And any other, stuff that I have to bring up about Warzone. That was just a chalked kill. Because I don't know how I got the kill. Because the mine, I think, got him, because this was not hardcore. I don't know how I got him, but I don't know. This was just shocked. I think this is the game where I had like 40 no, not 40. I had like 30 kills in this. With this Rival 9. It's an alright gun. I don't know how to feel about it. It's fun. I like to use it, but I don't know. I feel like Striker 9, I've tried out. I have a good build for it. It's really good. Again, I don't know all the attachments off the top of my head. That's why I have commands on my Twitch. If you just do like !MCW or !Striker or !Rival 9 or !Holger or !Striker 9, that kind of thing. I have all my loadouts there. So, I mean, obviously they're in the game, but if I need to, I can just go into my Twitch chat, type of !, or if someone's curious, if I forget, I just have them type it in, or I type it in myself, and it's like, oh, cool, there's my loadout. Now like what I use. I don't know all the attachments at the top of my head. Like, I know the sights. Like, on the Holger, it's the MK3 reflector. On the MCW, it's a slate reflector, the MK3. It's like a billeted muzzle brake, something like that. On my MCW, on my Holger, it's like an RB Regal stock, For my Renetti, it's like an MK2 long barrel. I don't know the exact rear grip, but I do know the ammo is like 9mm high grain rounds. So that's kind of like that. It's like easy to know. So that's kind of like the easy part of it. This run right here was good, I think. I think I had a good clutch play here. I think I had like a good 3-bomb. There was a good like play where I made like 4 kills in a row or something like that. I don't know. This one I was just shocked because I saw my... Yeah, I got blown up. It was a fucking... I hate the Predator missile, or whatever the fuck it's called. That's... I don't know, man. But yeah, I don't know. My classes are fun, right? I love to use the Rival 9, obviously. The Rival 9 is fun to use. It just takes too many bullets, I think, in my opinion. That's why I'm like... That's why in like hardcore, I love to use it in hardcore, because it takes it takes 2 bullets max anyways. Like, Rustman is like a good example. Rustman is like too hectic, but I also love it at the same time. Because like when I was trying to level up my Striker 9, I fucking hopped right into Rustman. In 2 games, I got that shit leveled up to like level 13. And I already got 2 camos done. In like 2-3 games. Which works out really well. Well, in contrary, if you're playing quick play, it might take a little bit longer. But you can probably get like all your camos done in 1 game, just depending on, what it is, right? If you play Rustman, you can probably get all of it done in 1 game, depending on how good your gun is, Like, if you have it already kind of leveled, then you can finish off, that kind of thing. That was a good round killer there. That's when we won our first defense, and we lost the offense. Then we won our defense, lost the offense, I'm pretty sure. No, our offense on this map is so bad. Well, because the thing is, me, Drew, and Dylan, we play this Warzone Rocket League together. Like, we're a Rocket League trio, and we're a Warzone trio. COD, it's not really a trio. It's more or less like we all hop in core, or in hardcore, excuse me, and then we just go around, we fuck around in hardcore, and we just join games. So like, we're a trio. If you like you could consider us a trio, and just like hardcore, but it's kind of hard because we're not just 3v, 3. It's more or less like, oh, we're like we're joining in with other people, but like we consider ourselves a team for Rocket League as well. Because 3 is like the standard, but me and Jerome mainly play. That was a good kill right there, and then I had another good play right there, and I got stunned, so I couldn't really do anything. That, I don't know, that was just very shocked. Now also touching, I guess, on the fact of like Warzone. We'll hit Warzone later. I don't know what gameplay I'm gonna show when I use Warzone because I didn't record the Warzone game. Again, that's all on my Twitch stream. So any Warzone gameplay, I'm just gonna what I'm gonna do is gonna be a little bit to edit, but I'm gonna take all this gameplay from from the video, and I'm gonna break it down, cut out the breaks, and because what I usually do is I like to say like when I'm starting, just because it helps me out in post production. Like even like it's not like a podcast, but even when I do like voiceovers for like practice commentating or just in general, like I like to say like what I'm doing is like so like, and I'll be like, oh, like if you notice, I'll be like, oh, and at the start, just choose my class, boom, simple as that. I know. Look, right when I start my class, when I say that, I need to start my class for this game. Simple as that. So then it helps me out. Obviously, there might be a point where it's like a second off, or it's like, oh, maybe I'm like saying it like a second late, or I'm saying it a second too early. But as long as it's around the general point, it's really all that matters. So we'll cut out all the breaks, and then I'll download my Twitch stream, which is like 6 hours, but I'll throw in some Rocket League gameplay in there. No, there was this thing in Rocket League. I was like, if we lose, if we lose this game, I will, like, if we didn't win a game, because we were so bad, like, we were so off, I was like, if we don't end up winning a game, I'll buy a Zach Wilson jersey. And so I didn't want to have to buy a Zach Wilson jersey. And there was this clutch play at the end, and we were going to win, but I put it to overtime. And it was a mix between intentionally and unintentionally, because I was running back, and I already did a half flip. Or not a half flip, I already did, like, a speed flip. So I already went for a speed flip, and I already hit it, but at the same time, I was, like, just trying to, like, hit it. I was trying to hit it, and I was trying to hit it towards the goal, but I wasn't necessarily trying to score. But I was like, fuck it, let's go to overtime. Then our overtime, we had a good win. And then I think we lost, and then we won. We were playing Rocket League for a good hour-ish, maybe an hour and a half, and then we played Call of Duty for a good hour and a half. And then we played 2 games of Warzone, so that was about, like, 30 minutes. So I think in total we ended up playing for, like, 3.5 hours. Yeah, we played at, like, 8, I think, and then we went from, like, 8 to 11-ish. Because, like, yeah, we got off about, like, 11:15, so that's when we got off the live, I guess. By the time we're done with this podcast, it'll be, like, 1 a.m., and then by the time this video is done uploading, because the second we're done with the Call of Duty bit, I'm going to get this shit started to upload. Right, that will take, like, 15-ish minutes to upload, and then after that, or, like, 20 minutes. And then, yeah, after that will basically be uploaded. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to download this audio file, download the gameplay, worry about connecting this up, and then I can worry about adding, like, the Twitch stream and all that later. Because the Twitch stream, I got to edit that, and that takes, like, at least a while to render, so I'll worry about that tomorrow. But tomorrow at school, I got to commentate a basketball game, so I got to, like, fucking record all that shit. I got to wear a full-on suit, but I don't know if basketball's still going to be on tomorrow. Because I don't want to dress up in a suit for nothing, you feel me? But yeah, I just feel like it's a really chalk situation in COD, honestly, right now. It's like the guns, like the meta, everything is so good. Like the MCW, the Holger Fries, right? Striker is really good. Like, I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. The maps, though, Meat is a... Meat's a shit show, man. Like, it's a ripoff, like... What was that store in MW 2019? It was like a fucking, I don't know exactly. It was a chalked store. It was called like Superstore. I don't even know what it was called. I think it was called Superstore. But there was like a store map, I think, if y'all can remember what I'm talking about, in MW 2019. Like, Meat reminds me of that map because it's like so fast paced, but it's like a small map. It's like not even like shipment, but like at the same time, it's just like really annoying to use. It's like the store. It's like the store map, I think, from MW 2019 is what it's reminding me of, I guess. Again, just very shocked. Also, to bring up, I don't know, Greece. I actually enjoyed playing Greece. Right, Greece was a good map. There's 3 maps. I forgot. There's like a third map. I forgot what it's called. It's Greece, Meat, and then there's another map. I don't like it, man. That's like the third map. I forgot what it's called. They either removed it or I'm just so unlucky where I haven't got it. Because I know there's a third map. There was 3 maps that came out. It was Grease, Meat, and then another one. I've only played Grease and Meat. Meat's alright. I don't like it that much. Grease, I love it. I love the hard point on there. It's really fun to play. It gets really mixy. And I guess it's more or less just like a fun thing, right? I enjoy playing it. I enjoy, frying with it. The MCW, bro. My MCW class fucking fries. I'm not going to be completely dead ass on that. Like, I'm sorry, but bro, my MCW fucking fries. If I could find some gameplay, I might throw it in later. We're gonna kind of go back to commentating about the game now, real quick, and just talking about this. Just kind of relating it. I don't know, DDoS. I don't understand the point of DDoS. Like, I use it, but I think it's more or less like an EMP thing. So it's if there's a trophy system, or if there's a jammer or something, it's supposed to disarm that. It says EMP's players. Is it? I don't know if it's just a stun grenade or something. Oh, here's the play. That was a good play. And then boom, got the triple kill. I don't know if I clipped that or not, but that was a good play. And that's actually, I got the final kill of the round too. That's what ended off the defensive round right there. Because I think they had reinforcements coming, right? Because I got 1, and then I don't think it recorded slightly of the first kill, but it only got the end 2 kills. There's my Renetti class right there. So, yeah, that's my Renetti class. Again, our offense is sucked. This is a 5-minute round, not even. This was a 4-minute round, I think. The defense round was really quick though. I'm gonna be completely honest with that. When we were playing the defense, that was so easy. Because I think we were only there for a minute because they didn't contest B much. They contested a little bit of A. But we got them off A pretty quick, and then it was, I guess, just down to wasting the clock and all that kind of jazz. So that final round was really easy to help us out. You feel me? I enjoyed that though. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Not only because I was winning, but it's I don't know, the Rival 9. I feel the Rival 9 doesn't get as much love as it deserves, just because I feel the Striker, people thought the Striker was the meta, and I agreed, the Striker fucking fried, okay? I'm sorry, but it did. It did its job as a primary SMG, you feel me? And it did everything that was supposed to do. Obviously the Striker 9, that was really shocked. I don't like the Striker 9. That was just a fucked situation, but But yeah, just the Striker 9 in general is a really weird weapon to use. I like it, but it's still kind of chalked. Yeah, I have to have the right attachments and everything. I don't like the weapon tuning either. The weapon tuning / balancing is really good. It's really mid. To touch on the boots though, I'll kind of touch on all my classes and what I think about everything here while we're wrapping up this round because there's 2 rounds left. Let's kind of cover the boots, right? Because I think this has about we'll be done by 40-ish minutes on this game. But the boots, right? And the shoes and all that, the sneakers. The covert sneakers are good, right? But you can also if you're an SMG player, I have 2 classes. Obviously, I have 2 SMGs that I like to use, or actually 3. But it's more an experimental. The Striker 9 is an experimental, and my class it has the Renetti, obviously, and then I use the stun and the Semtex, and then after that, for my thing, usually I use DDoS, but instead I use Dead Silence, and then after Deady, I use Running Sneakers, because Covert Sneakers, you don't even gotta use Deady. If you have Deady and Covert Sneakers, you're just wasting your ability, or whatever the fuck it's called. You're just wasting it, honestly. So, what I did, I used Running Sneakers, and then I used Dead Silence, then I use E-to-D padding, and then I use, Infantry Vest obviously is the best way to go. But then I use what am I missing? I'm missing, gloves. And then I use the assault gloves. I have the mix between an assault and then the commando. Or something along those lines, but for the AR, I have the assault gloves. For the SMG, I have the assault gloves. I got the same sneakers, gloves, but for my AR, for my Holger class, I use a tack mask. So I don't use E-to-D padding, I use the tack mask. So, I don't know. All the classes are good, though. Yeah, this is the chalked offensive round. But anyways, so I use, the tack mask. It's basically the same thing as E-to-D padding. It just, reduces the muzzle flash and all that kind of shit. So, it still works effectively. All the classes are fine. So, honestly, you can still use Steady and running sneakers. It works fine. You can still use attack mask. It works fine. It's more or less just finding like what works for you, I think. And what works for me is, well, the E to D padding. I prefer the E to D padding with the covert sneakers and the DDoS or the trophy system. For like the Holger, obviously I use running sneakers and Steady. Or not that, sorry, but I use like attack mask. But like I use the deployable cover as my special ability, or whatever the fuck you call it. But then for like my MCW, I use a trophy system. Like obviously for an SMG, I like the DDoS. Like Striker 9, obviously you can have like the running sneakers for me, and then obviously run with the fucking running shoes, whatever. And then Steady, but yeah, the Rival 9, best class. You can see I have DDoS. And then I run, obviously, covert sneakers. I run tack mask, or not tack mask, E to D padding, excuse me. And I run assault gloves. So that's kind of like my class there. Those are like my quote-unquote perks. And then I use, it varies between Semtex and Frag. Like the Semtex is good in certain cases, but like the Frag is like the best option, I think. Like in my AR, is a mix. I mainly prefer a frag grenade when I'm running AR, but like since like with the SMG you're getting like really mixy, like you're gonna be like moving around, you're gonna be slide canceling 24/7, trying to hit like crazy shots. I feel like a Semtex is better because like say like you're whipping around, right? You're doing like a fucking slide cancel. You fucking like turn around, you throw a Semtex, and you slide cancel your way out of there. You might pick up 2 or 3. Well, if you're an AR and you're chilling back, you're not gonna be throwing Semtexes around, right? So for all my ARs, I use grenades and then just frags, and then I use Semtexes on all my SMGs. It just works for me, and personally I like that. Yeah, so we're approaching the end of this game. I'll just cover it really. This game is like chalked. I mean, we just basically ran out of time here. There was obviously they got B for a minute. I think I found one of the kills. Yeah, I found the kill up by top roof. My aim there was actually God. Like I was fucking nailing the fuck out of him. And then the bottom kill, I think I got a kill back by top stairs. It was the fucking rat shed kid. Found him. The proximity mine went off. Got the final kill. There was one guy left on time. And I don't know if they got him off. They did not get him off in the next time. This round ends pretty soon though. So yeah, I had 30 kills there. Well, actually, I probably had 30 kills after this. So this is fucking Riot Shield Joe. Yeah, they ended up capturing that. It was on the A. We didn't get them on lives. No, we got them on time. I'm pretty sure we got them on time on this, so, but yeah. Honestly, the classes are really chalked, but I like all my classes, I kind of fry with them. I do kind of everything I have to do. I just always do a DDoS when I get it. I think DDoS is mainly meant for, like, trophy systems, that kind of thing, but I'm not sure. Whoa, okay. So, yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure we didn't get them on, so we got them definitely on time. But, I think it was a good game overall so far. This one was probably the best. Obviously 250 to 1, that's basically really embarrassing. I don't like that. And then obviously got both 3-0'd both times on the Skid Row control. That was chalked. I was losing full in that second game, but I was like, whatever, fuck it. And then the third game, the same thing. I didn't lose full. I was chowing. But yeah, we got him on time here, so we won in 5. But honestly, it was a very chalked game there. So I generally don't know how to feel about that. But honestly, making a podcast about COD, I didn't think I was going to be able to last 40 minutes. But here we've been for the past 40 minutes just chatting about, right? So, yeah, but then we can, I guess, kind of touch on Warzone for a bit and that kind of thing. Like, bro, I don't understand it, right? It's a whole chalked scenario, and you're just, like, figuring, like, oh, what do we do in this situation? You feel me? Like, it's just fucked, right? But yeah, I can't pull up any of my Twitch stuff, not yet at least. Rocket League, I don't think I took any videos in Rocket League. But yeah, Warzone, again, I hopped this into I have my whole class already set up here, so it is the here it is. It is the Echoline GSX for the muzzle. Then it's the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop for the underbarrel. The rear grip is the I think it's the no, I'm not sure what it is. The optic obviously is the MK3 reflector. The stock is the RB Addo assault stock, and the rear grip is the Morin 20 grip. So that's kind of my class there. And then obviously my Rival 9 class, I'll show you guys in a second here. It's the, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. It is the V27 Mini Muzzle Brake S. Then it's the DR6 hand stop for the underbarrel. Then it's the Rival C Clear Shot barrel. Then for the stock, it is the MTZ Marauder stock. And then for the rear grip, it is the, what's the rear grip? I'm trying to remember. And the rear grip is the just Rival Vice assault grip. So that's kind of it. And then for my classes, I use Scavenger, Battle Hardened, Cold Blooded, and High Alert. That's my Warzone class. So I run Holger 5.56 in the Rival 9, then I run Striker and I have 4 classes. It's really chalked, but I run the Holger and the Striker, the MCW and the Rival 9, and I flip those. Then I run Holger, Rival, and then Striker and MCW. Don't ask me why I do that. Oh, and then I have a Sniper class, but I'm still trying to rank up my snipers. And then I kind of went over my MCW class already. So those are my 4 classes. So, I don't know. The Resurgence was just, like, good, right? We're going to get that video uploaded now so I can go ahead and do the editing and at least get this part, I guess, opened. And I can connect the audio. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Also, I guess to add on, as a matter of fact, I don't know. I generally don't know how to feel about COD, honestly. Now, I guess we can still touch on Rocket League for a bit, because it's more or less just like, fuck, you know. But, touching on Rocket League, that will probably take us about 5 to 10 minutes-ish. I'm trying to think, is there anything about Warzone? I'll touch on Warzone for about 5-ish minutes, and then I'll go to Rocket League to end us off, and then I'll kind of have some ending thoughts. Warzone, I don't know how I feel about Resurgence, honestly, or like on Urzikstan. I don't like the map, bro. Like, I've played both Battle Royale and Resurgence with, you know, Drew and Dylan. But I don't like it. I don't like the Resurgence. It's not fun, man. There's not like any, you know, memorable locations to add, essentially. It's just like, it's pretty much just like fuck around and find out, you feel me? There's like nothing good coming out of it, so honestly, who knows? I might make some Rocket League, or not Rocket League, sorry. I might make some like, I might end up making some Warzone content. I'm fine with that, right? Like, I don't mind making that Warzone content. It's fun, you know? Like, I wouldn't say it's like I hate Warzone. I just don't like the Resurgence that much. The Battle Royale isn't that much better, in my opinion. It's definitely an improvement from Warzone 2. I will give you that. It's definitely a massive improvement, but it doesn't beat the Warzone 1, honestly. Warzone 1 was the best out of them all. Well, because Warzone 1 had Verdansk, and then it had Verdansk 84, and then after that it had Caldera, and then there was obviously Rebirth, Resurgence, ever since Cold War. I loved Rebirth. They're bringing it back apparently in the next year, which is Black Ops 2024. But I feel like it's going to be like a Black Ops. I feel like it's going to revolve around BO2, because BO2's main story takes place in 2025. Or the quote-unquote futuristic side of things takes place in 2025. And I feel like since Black Ops is going to be releasing in 2024 and 2025, considering they're doing the 2-year cycle, it makes sense that they should release a BO2 remaster. I don't even think BO2 needs a remaster, honestly. That's how good the game is. Like, you could maybe bring like a remaster, but like just in general, I think BO2 just, it's fine, right? You can just keep it as is. So, I don't know. I'll try my best to do like a weekly podcast covering everything, right? Like, it's going to be different. It's not going to be like the same podcast every time. Like, one podcast could just be all about the NFL and sports, right? It could be like, oh, what's happening in the NFL, right? Or another time it could be like, oh, let's cover my school sports, right? Or it could just be, we'll be covering, you know, Rocket League. We'll just be covering RLCS and Rocket League for one, you know? So, once we get back to sport, like, I don't know. We're going to try our best to do like one a week. And I guess go from there. But yeah, who knows what they're gonna do? But if Rebirth, if the leakers are right with Rebirth coming back next year, I'm fine with that, right? Like, I don't know. I just don't know like what the next Black Ops game is gonna be set. It's supposed to be like a Gulf War apparently, set around the Gulf War era. So probably after the past events of after like the past series in BO2, because obviously if you remember in BO2, when you're like Savimbi and you're in Mongolia, in Angola, I think something like that, and you're at the MPLA or something, or Savimbi's Fort, whatever the fuck it is, and then you go in the Congo River or whatever it is, and you go save Woods from the shipping container, right? Like honestly, that's fun, you know? Like it's so when you have that mission was fun though. I think it's called like I'm trying to remember what the exact Pyrithic Victory, something like that, periodic victory, something like that. But yeah, that was a fun mission. But anyways, so it's gonna be sort of, I believe after there, because the Gulf War was like the '90s with like Operation Desert Storm or Desert Siege, something like that. So yeah, I think it was Operation Desert Storm. But after that, it was so it's gonna be probably sit around there. Um, so I don't know. Apparently, Ador might play a role in that, but honestly, if it takes place after BO2, I don't see how Ador, because he's in Cold War, but it goes like World at War, BO1. After BO1, then it goes Cold War. After Cold War, then it goes BO2, and then after BO2, it's just presumably it's gonna be the BO6, whatever that is, and then it's BO3, then it's BO4, and then BO3. So it's a whole complicated system, but Black Ops Cold War ties into the Modern Warfare universe, and the Modern Warfare universe like integrates. Like, looking at COD HQ, like Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty Vanguard, those two games take place together as like a 2-in-1 package, and then also, you know, there's a lot of other things, right? You have like obviously Modern Warfare 19, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. You have Black Ops Cold War. Um, I don't know what other games tie. I don't think any other games tie into that. I think BO4 might tie into it a little bit. I think Ghosts ties into it. I think, but I feel like Call of Duty Ghosts should get like a remaster, or like a Ghost 2 for the next Infinity Ward game, because the next, I guess, Infinity Ward game is supposed to be another Modern Warfare game, tying into the universe. But I feel like, you know, if I don't know, I just feel like MW3 or the next game should be at least maybe a Ghost 2, right? That'd be a fun game, because then you get to have, then you get to see Rourke, and then you get to see Hesh, and then you get to see which is Logan. You get like Logan Walker, then you get Hesh, then you get to see. Well, Elias died. Elias got killed. And then Captain Merrick, I think, and then you get to see like probably Captain Merrick, and then Ajax. I don't know if Ajax is dead, but like, you get to like go with the ghosts and all that. So I don't know. Honestly, I'd love to see that though. Like I'd love to see fucking Ghost 2. That'd be a really fun game to see, honestly. Cause it's just like, look, like what happens, right? Like that'd be fun, cause like the end of the game, there's like a thing is that explained in a cutscene. Elias Walker kind of explained in a cutscene that like what they did is like starved him and fed him poison to Rourke, who was like in a cage in the middle of like a jungle. And then there's a cutscene at the end of the game. It's like a post-credit scene, and I don't know, like the protagonist was just like, I don't know, it's just like chilling. He was just like laying down, I guess, or well, sitting in a locked container in the jungle, and that inferred, I guess, look, same thing's being happening to him, so now he's gonna turn into killing ghosts. So I don't know how to feel about that. Ghost 2? I don't know. BO2 remaster? I don't think it needs one. that's like, I guess, the Chuck thing, right? So we'll see. We will see. The question is, what's gonna end up happening with, like, you know, I don't know. Will we see Adler in the next Black Ops game? Now that's like the main question. I don't know, right? I didn't like Adler. He killed Bell, and then he just cared about himself, really. So I love the bad ending where, like, you kill him, but that's not like the accurate one because he ended up killing Woods and Mason. So, and if they're in Black Ops 2, then yeah, like they're the whole protagonist of the situation. So it's not like you can kill them. But I don't know. Black Ops games are fun. Like, I would rank like all. I don't know. We could do a Call of Duty ranking, I guess. Should we do a Call of Duty ranking? I don't know. Like, we could just as easily do a Call of Duty ranking, you feel me? Like, I would love to do that, so we might actually do that. You know, let's go do a Call of Duty ranking. So, like, we can, like, rank all the CODs, because I've played all of them except for Call of Duty 1 and Call of Duty 3. And obviously I haven't played Call of Duty Big Red 1 or anything like that, right? But it is what it is. So, I mean, I guess the question is, right, it's like, is there really like the best Call of Duty of all time? I mean, yeah, that answer is quite accurately yes, you feel me? Because I enjoyed the game itself. I enjoyed every single game itself, right? Like, we could do it like this, right? We could rank every game from best to worst based off campaign, or it could just be as a whole, or multiplayer. Have I played every multiplayer? No. Have I played every campaign? Yes. So, I'm just going to rank it based off campaign, I guess. And you may be wondering, like, oh, why are you deciding to do a ranking now? Because why not? We got a little bit more time in the podcast here. I'm trying to at least go for like an hour, 10 minutes-ish. We're at about 50-ish, 55 minutes. So it's like 20 minutes to kill, essentially. Actually, no, my number's wrong. 15-ish, 20 minutes to kill. Alright, so we'll see. Okay, but alright, so we'll start in order. And I guess we'll kind of go from there, if you will. So let's start. We're going to go up to all the games here. So we have never played. So we're going to take care of the never played ones. So Call of Duty 3, that was never played. So simple as that. Okay. Call of Duty 1, never played. So we're going to put them in never played. So we have A, B, C, D, E, and then F. So we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to delete that row. And we're going to delete this row. Okay. We don't need an E either. We're going to get rid of E. So we're going to delete row. Okay. So we have S, which is like the best. We got A, and then we got B, and then we got C, which is like that, and then F is like worst game. Okay. So let's start. So we're just going to go in order on how the pictures are displayed. So, yeah, we're just going to go in how the pictures are displayed. So we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Again, these are based off campaign. This isn't based off like, oh, multiplayer, Warzone, that kind of thing. Also, Warzone is its own game, I just noticed. So we're going to put Warzone in just F. Or no, we're going to put Warzone in never played just for now. Only reason I'm putting it there for now is because we're going off campaigns, and it's not a campaign, so we're going to put it in never played / doesn't have a campaign. Same thing goes with BO4. BO4 doesn't have a campaign, so we're going to put that also in quote-unquote never played / no campaign. Every other game has a campaign. Well, there's 2 Warzones, because there's that, and then you have this. So I just gotta, I don't know what that is. I don't know why there's 2 there. Okay. Let's Call of Duty 2. Let me just double check. It's Call of Duty 3, okay. So, Modern Warfare 2019. I love the game. I really do. like campaign wise, it's the reboot. It's the first game of the reboot, right? You get introduced to CIA. You have Alex. You have Farah, Price, Gaz. You have the Wolf, the Butcher. Like I can cover the whole story, but I'm not going to. Like I'll cover like the stuff that I like and I dislike about it. The stuff that I like, the movement system is good. Like after being boots on, like after going basically, because there was like a span where it was like from Advanced Warfare, then you had BO3 and Infinite Warfare where you had advanced movement. Then you had World War II, which is a quick break. It was an old-fashioned game, but you were back on boots on the ground. Then it went back to BO4, where it was just like more like it was more or less it was a mix between BO3 of like straight jetpacks and boots on the ground. So it was like a mix. But yeah, looking at Modern Warfare 2019, I like the story, right? And like how it sets up everything for MW2, right? Like you have the Wolf and the Butcher, obviously, and then you have like, oh, cool, right? You get thrown into the grinder. If like I wouldn't say there's not a memorable mission from the game, but it's not like a lot of fun missions, right? Like, if I had to choose one mission that I thoroughly enjoyed, or maybe that would be a fan favorite from that game, it's probably Piccadilly, right? Like, it's the second mission. You get introduced to Kyle Garrick, or well, as you find out in MW2. Well, actually, as you find out near the end of MW2 19 towards MW2 Gaz. I don't know. I don't liked it that much. It's the game's enjoyable. Like you have Fog of War, and then you have Piccadilly, and then you have Proxy War, and then you have Embedded, or it's either flipped like that, and then you have Queen. Actually, no, Queen House. Queen House is the most memorable mission, and then Piccadilly. Those two. Then after that, mission 6 is after Queen House. Oh, then you have like the hotel, or then you have like the then you have like the hospital mission. And you have Embassy, and then mission 8 you have Highway of Death, and Hunting Party. No, Hunting Party is the one right before Embassy. You have Hunting Party, then Embassy, and then you have like Highway of Death, and then you have I can't remember the exact mission order. There's like 11 missions or something in total, but anyways, I don't know. My favorite mission from that is probably Queen House for sure. That's like the only memorable mission. So for that reason, it's like the realism you get brought back. I'm gonna have to put it at like a B tier. Like it could be worse, but like honestly, it's a suitable game. I'm fine with it. Next but the realism I'm gonna put in A. Next up we have, we're gonna put it in B. Okay. Next up we have Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Look, right, in Infinite Warfare you have Ethan, Reyes, Salter, Cash, or Kashima, Omar, Mac, Admiral Reigns. I forgot who the main villain is. I honestly forgot. It's not a memorable. Look, multiplayer shit, but that's why we're covering campaign. I like the idea of like a I don't know. I like the idea of like the story and like the UNSA and like the SFA, whatever the hell it's called, or SDF, excuse me, Space Defense Front, and you have the UNSA, United Nations Settlement or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was fun. The story was fun. I loved Ethan. You really got attached to Ethan throughout the story of the campaign, right? Obviously, it was back in the movement, right? This game, I guess, is more like a hit or miss, but I enjoyed the story where you're playing as, Reyes, and you command it, and it's like optional missions, right? You can like choose like where you want to go. Like if you want to go to Mars for a mission, it's optional. Like you have optional missions you can do. You're like made the commander, and you get to like, it's a mix between stealth and like going in. There's not really any memorable missions from there, but I like it. But if I had to give it, I'm going to give it a C. Next up, we have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This was the biggest gap from Call of Duty 3, then it went to the 3D universe. Obviously, this is probably one of the best games here, right? like it was so enjoyable, man. Like you got to meet Price, you had Gaz, and you got to meet Nikolai, and obviously you had Paul Jackson, you had Khalid Al-Assad, um, you had Viktor Zakhaev, Emran Zakhaev, and there's another horseman, Vladimir Makarov, which we'll touch on in a little bit. So I like the game overall. It was fun. It was really fun to play. The most memorable mission is all Gillied Up, where you're playing as Lieutenant Price and Captain McMillan. I like the villains, like Khalid Al-Assad. You torture him in a safe house in Ozban. That was probably a fun part, sniping Zakhaev, then you killed him to find out that you killed him at the end of a bridge. Also, Sergeant Griggs. You saw Sergeant Griggs die at the end. Gaz got shot in the face. Price slides you his pistol. You're playing as Soap. Then you kill the 2 guards, and then you also kill him, and then Sergeant Kamarov comes and saves your ass. It's a fun game. Obviously, as I said, I don't know. I like the FNG, saving Nikolai. He's giving you intel. You go on the bearing straight, and you get intel from Nikolai. Then you save him in the mission Blackout. And then, obviously, like with the Rangers, you're going after Khalid Al-Assad, get killed with a nuke. I like the story. It's really fun. You really get attached. You get to understand Soap's backstory a little bit. Not his backstory, but you really get to understand Soap and his future games. You kind of see all that. So, for that reason, you just have to put it in an S tier, right? It kicks off the whole entire game, so S tier it goes. All right, next game we have Modern Warfare 3, 2011 or 2011. So this isn't the new one. This is the old one, and you may be asking why is it here? It's just order on Tier Maker. It's not like the same order. It generates the CODs randomly every time. So then it's like, because like when you're making a tier list, like obviously you can have the people that set it so it goes in order, but most people just go like as in the order it's given, so it's random every time. So for this order, it's you have MW3, and then you have like BO2, then you have Advanced Warfare Ghosts. Like so, it's all over the place. So it's not even in order. So we're not gonna get MW2 2009 for a little bit. So like I could go through and do an order of like get Modern Warfare then Black Ops, but I'm just gonna go in the order's sake, so I don't have to go around and move a lot of stuff. MW3. It was just kind of a repeat of MW2. It was the same mechanics of MW2, right? You had Sandman, Grinch, Truck, and Frost as Delta. You had Makarov. You had to go out. You're chasing Makarov. You obviously had Price, Yuri, Nikolai, Soap. There was a lot of stuff, right? You just killed a shepherd. He was considered a war hero, and now you're like most wanted by the CIA and stuff, and like you're on the run. You're disbanded. You're disavowed, if you will, and you're just running from like that, right? You get attacked by Makarov's men in Africa, and then you go in Sierra Leone, and then obviously you have like the World War III raging on still. Like you're with Delta, and then it's all over the place, right? Like you start off in New York City, like with Delta Frost, right? And then I'll try our best to cover both sides. So like I'll cover like the Delta, and then I'll cover the TF 141. Like Delta, right? You go to like Paris, then you go to like Hamburg, Germany. You see the Eiffel Tower fall down. Then you go to a mine to like help like the vice president or the president, excuse me. And then they die. And they sacrifice themselves so Captain Price and the gang can escape, which is I love that out of them. So if I had to give this a rating out of 10, I'm going to probably give it a 7, but maybe a 6. I like the story, but again, the mechanics, the graphics were basically taken from MW2 with minor improvements. Basically the same weapons, same kill streaks. There's different maps, but I don't know. The story is, I guess, kind of enjoyable, but obviously you have Soap's death, right? After Soap's death, then you have, after Soap's death, you just really have it's just chalked after Soap's death, really. So, and then you obviously kill Makarov. I'm going to give it a B tier. It's not the best, but I don't like it. Alright, now we have Black Ops 2. This is kind of what I was just talking about. You had... This is like where you, I guess, really had a lot of things, right? You got to meet, let's see, you had the past and you had the present, which I really liked the idea of. You got to meet Section, and then you had I feel like a bitch for missing some of these names. What's his fucking name? He betrays you. Salazar. Fuck's his name? You can like either shoot him or kill him when you're like it's in Achillesville. Well, you obviously have Frank Woods, and then you have Mason. Then you have Hudson, you have Noriega in a few of the missions. Harper. Harper is his name. So you have Harper, Salazar, and you have Section. Those are kind of like your little group. That's your little posse for the game. I liked it. It was fun. You obviously had zombies, but we're going to be mainly touching on the campaign. So this is like story, it's the gameplay aspects because, well, you're using the gameplay aspects, but it's mainly just based off story and like the characters. I like the idea of like the past and present, so like you get to mix between going from the past to the present. You're trying to stop Raul Menendez. Like in the opening mission, you're trying to go rescue Frank Woods. I was touching on this earlier with like the MPLA, and you're playing as Mason. You're Savimbi. You rescue him. You go to a camp. You find Raul Menendez. You don't know who he is, but you try to use the radio. You bust the radio. You take him hostage. You take Menendez hostage in the little hut. The guards come at him. He throws a grenade, so you shoot him in the eye and jump out, and you killed him. Then you escape. As simple as that, right? Then he turns out, well, many years on, like 40 years later, he's still an active threat. Like, he's still a massive threat. Story-wise, though, I like it. I like the idea of, like, going back and forth. You can change your class and stuff. You can do, like, side strike missions. The story's enjoyable. I like the multiple endings. First time you really get a multiple endings mission or game. So for that reason, I'm going to have to go ahead and put this, it's right at an S tier. The best of the best. Looking at it, we have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, BO2 at S tier, MW 2019 and MW3 B tier, and then Infinite Warfare at C tier. And then never played is COD 3, Call of Duty, Warzone, and BO4, because they don't have campaigns. Next up is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This game, well, let's talk about the story, because again, we're ranking campaigns. I honestly don't know how I feel about this game. Because, look, you have Jonathan Irons, you have Will Irons, you play as Mitchell, you get to meet Joker, and you're also, what's his name? You have Cormac, you have Iona, whatever the fuck her name is. And then you have Gideon, right? Like, the story-wise, I'm not a big fan of the movement. You know, obviously I like the missions, like where you drive around, but there's no memorable mission in this game at all. I don't like Jonathan Irons. It was Kevin Spacey who was playing him. I just don't like it. It wasn't an enjoyable campaign. Obviously, I kind of liked playing around, but like the exosuits just made it really. I just didn't like it. I'm more of like a boots on the ground kind of guy. This is also a personal opinion, by the way. So, again, I don't like it. The weapons were mid. The story was kind of mid. Trying to just go after Jonathan Irons, like you're just going around playing as Atlas, and then like you find out like you join the Sentinels again. You're like, oh, cool, you know. But for that, I'm putting it an F. I just don't like it. I'll play it again if I have to, but I don't like it. Next up, we have Call of Duty Ghosts. Oh, this is where it gets real interesting. But again, we're going off story. We're not going off, like, the whole game, because if it was the whole game, like multiplayer zombies and all that, this game would probably be at, like, a D. But if we're going off story, look. I'm going to tell you my ranking, and then I'll explain why. This will just make it more quicker, so it's not like boom and then boom. I'm putting it at a C tier. Not a C, sorry, I'm putting it at a B tier. Look, the story, I like the story, but it was mixed. Federation Day is the most probably memorable mission out of that. I don't know. The characters, you had Hesh, Logan Walker, you had Riley the dog, you had Elias Walker, you had Ajax, you had Captain Merrick, you had, I forgot the other two, you had Rourke, obviously. It was a mixed game, but I don't like it. Honestly, if I had to choose, I'm probably going to have to... Yeah, the reason I put it there, I like the missions. I like the story where you're trying to like go after Rourke. I just don't like the ending. The ending's a cliffhanger. You know, Elias gets killed. Riley, he's hurt. You don't see her again. Is Riley? No, Riley's a girl. But I don't know. Federation versus whatever the other group is. So I like it, but again, if there's an ending or if there's a part 2 to it, then maybe my ranking would be higher. But just for that reason, I'm not a big fan of the ending. The ending just okay. Call of Duty World War II. This one will be going at B tier. Again, I like it, right? I like the idea of going to World War II. So this is Sledgehammer's second game they've mainly produced. They're supposed to have a Vietnam game, but they had to help work on MW3. But anyways, look, characters. You have Lieutenant Turner, you have Sergeant Pearson, you have Styles, you have Alio, you have Zussman, and then you obviously play as Daniels, right? So it's a fun game, but there's not really a main enemy. It's not like, oh, we're going after this one guy, you know. Like, looking at, like, BO2, it was Raul Menendez. Black Ops, it was, you had Kravchenko. You know, we're just going to cover the games we have done. Like, if Ghost, we have Rourke. You know, MW3, we have Makarov. 2019, we're going after the Wolf and the Butcher. Infinite Warfare, we're going after, well, I don't know. Advanced Warfare going after Irons, but but you're just really fighting off Germans. That's all it is. Like, all you're doing is you're just fighting Germans, and that's it to the end. And then once you complete the Rhine, that's it. D-Day is probably the only memorable mission, but still. Characters, you don't really get attached to them that much. Actually, now Turner's death. Then you get to see Pearson be a hard ass, right? But I feel like I got attached to Turner. He was fun. I love playing missions with him. But again, no really memorable missions. That's why I put it at B. Next, Black Ops. Black Ops is going to go at an A tier. Like, I love Black Ops. I love characters, Frank Woods, you know, that kind of thing. Menendez, or not Menendez, excuse me. What's his name? Reznov. You have you have Woods, Mason, and then what is it? Kravchenko, Steiner, I can't remember all the villains. There's like 3. The ending, though, I don't know. I put it in A tier. Like the story. I can't think of any memorable missions from that game, though. But it's just well beloved. I like the story. Love getting attached to the characters. Simple as that. Black Ops 3. I'm putting that at F. I don't talk about it. I hate the campaign. I hate the story. Hate all the characters. Done. Wow, we've been going for an hour, 18 minutes. Shit. Okay. Okay, we're wrapping up our games, and then this will take us to about an hour 25, and then we're just going to wrap it up. So, MW2. I love MW2. The ranking we're giving it is, again, we're going to put it back in A tier. Actually, no, we're going to put it in S tier, excuse me. Right, this game, you have no price at the start. You just have Captain McTavish. You're playing as Roach. You have TF-141. You obviously have Ghost. So it's basically it. And you have General Shepard. Then you have the 175th Rangers. You're playing as Ramirez. You have the whole memes like, Ramirez, get to Burger Town. Or like, Ramirez, get me a fork. Ramirez, fix my marriage. You know, the funny memes. I like the story. I like the villain. I like the plot twist when you find out Shepard betrayed you. Obviously, when Roach and Ghost died, I hated that. But, going to the Gulag and finding out that, Price is there. I like everything I love about it. It's so fun. I like the guns, It's just a good story overall. I got attached to the characters. You really get attached to Ghost, even though it's only for one game. You really get attached to him, and then you just see him die, and you see the betrayal, and you have to get out of the boneyard. I love the game. Fun story. Next, Call of Duty World at War, B tier. Again, if this was based on the whole game, probably up in A tier. Maybe go into S if I'm being generous, because zombies all that. But I like the story's fun, right? I enjoy seeing Reznov, but it's more also the Red Army, and it's just a mix of Private Miller, and then you have Roebuck, and you have all that. I don't like the Pacific mission. That's the real only time you get to see the Pacific side from Vanguard, but I don't like it. I don't like the Pacific Theater. I like more the Reznov missions. You're playing as Dmitry Petrenko, but yeah, it's just B tier. So that's Warzone 2.0. Again, we're not ranking that. My bad. So we got Modern Warfare 2. Okay, so we have. Now we're coming up to the year where it's actually in order, because the games are not in order, but now our games are in order. It's Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. So, let's see. We have Cold War. It's gonna go in A tier. Look, I like the story, and I like the multiple endings. Right, you have Adler, you still have Frank Woods, you still have Hudson, you still have Mason. You still have that story. You have Park, you have Sims. You can alter the ending dramatically. Like in the Cuba mission, and just in the straight ending, And I like the story of how it all comes full circle, all the loose ends get tied. Do you feel me? It's right at the end, you get to experience a lot. You feel me? It's you can save Park, you can save Sims, you can save neither. But then it shows at the end, that you saw Bell get lit up in the truck, and at the end of the game, it showed that he was being rescued. There's no really villain of the game. But, it was after the, Perseus is, I guess, the main villain, but they never really killed Perseus. Never really found out who he was. You did kill, a bunch. You killed, I forgot the guy, and, when Park saved your ass. There was a lot. Story though, I didn't really like it that much, but I'm just putting it in A because I like the different endings and stuff, and the main weapons. So, yeah, we got a few more games. We got Call of Duty Vanguard, C tier. Actually, no, this is going in F tier. Look, I don't like the story. There's no story at all. There's no main villain. There's nothing good out of the game. The only good thing I will say out of the game is I like one mission. Again, there's no memorable mission in this game, but I do like it when you can play as Jackson, you get to fly. When you fly the plane, and that's the only mission that I like. I don't like the characters. They're boring. There's nothing good about the story. I hate every second of it. Next game. MW2. This game is a C tier, honestly. Look, I like the revamped. I like seeing Gaz back. It's the whole gang back. There's no Farrah Karim. She's featured in one mission. That's when you have to save Kate Laswell. There's two villains. There's Harash Zyani, you kill Gabrani. And you have to go over Hassan Zyani, and you obviously have Graves, right? But I just don't like the story, man. The story is very chalked, honestly. There's not a story. You find out that Graves basically betrayed you. It finds out that, you get to see Shepard, he betrayed you. Graves betrayed you. And then right after that, right, you still don't go after him. Then you find out that Makarov's around. And then you find out, after Makarov's around, you kill Zion. It's all over the place. There's not really a main story. But I do like, obviously, the bringing of Graves and Shadow Company and Alejandro and Mexican Special Forces. I love that. That's the part about the game that I love. The guns are fun. The realism is fun. I don't necessarily have a mission that's the best. I'd probably have to say the AC-130 mission. That brings us to our final game on the tier rankings, and that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Again, this is D tier. It's the only game in D tier. I'll rank the Warzones after, actually. I'll throw them in, but they're not going to really mean anything. There is no Warzone 3, but I will just throw one of the new Warzones in Warzone 3. Actually, no, there is a Warzone 3. So that's 3, that's 2, or that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Look, Modern Warfare 3, it's a short game. No Russian, aka Terminal, or it's called Passenger, is like the only good mission. That's it. And there's no memorable missions. The story's all over the place. Like, Graves, no, like, Farah and Alex, they're chill with Graves. There's open combat missions where you run around and do whatever you want. At the end, you don't even kill Makarov. Makarov just does whatever he wants and he gets away. You can't even chase him. And then, like, you just fucking kill General Shepard at the end. There's, like, no mission at all. There's no story. There's no plot. I don't like it. Okay. We're going to real quick rank these games. And then we're going to give our final sayings here. Warzone 1, that's A tier. Or that's an S tier, excuse me. Boom. No reason why. You already know. Warzone 2, didn't like it. It was still kind of enjoyable because I liked playing Vondel. I'll put it at C. And then Warzone 3, obviously I played it, don't like it. It's going in D. So, I'm going to download these and I'm going to send an email real quick and then I can go ahead and I'll throw it up on screen. So, well, I'm just saying this was quite the podcast. I thank y'all so much for joining me here on this podcast, obviously. Like, look, it was enjoyable, right? Like, honestly. So, it is what it is, right? So, yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this podcast, or listening in, I guess, but there are some gameplay elements to it. So I guess we'll figure out what happens, but yeah, in the meantime, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.